You guys also have to understand, if somebody is not supporting or judging your relationship, that has nothing to do with you.
There's many different ways to skin a cat, which is it's a terrible saying, but it makes so much sense.
I was gonna say all roads lead to Rome, so you're kind of like every different road is gonna get you to that destination, if it's your destination. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Serena.
And I'm James.
And we are Life After Union, two twin flames in union. So today we are talking all about our families and, did they support us? Did we have any conflict or issues? And everything you need to know about that. So watch this video. Guys, welcome back to our channel. Thank you so much for being here today. First I wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching our channel, for supporting us. We've got some big stuff coming up, some big opportunities. Obviously I've been doing polls and stuff in the community and posting a lot more in the community than we used to. So we just wanted to say thank you guys so much for the continued support. If you hear noises like that, that is Claire in the background playing with her toys on the floor while we record this video. We're actually recording it, yes. We're actually recording it in her room, her space. And yeah, so that's what we're doing today. And today we are talking all about families. So this comes from a question that we had. Thank you guys so much for addressing your questions and asking us to make videos on certain things. It helps keep us accountable, keeps us making these videos even on days where we feel like this, like a little bit today, like low energy and not like, fully there. But it helps us to keep showing up for you guys, keep showing up for ourselves, keep moving our channel forward. So today we are taking a question, which is, did our families approve of our relationship? The kind of like the spiritual work we're doing. Like, twin flames can be misunderstood a lot by their families, which is, that's exactly my experience, was feeling misunderstood by my family growing up. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But essentially, right off the bat, did our families disapprove? No.
Not to say that's always going to be the case, but in our case it wasn't. Right.
So, and I think that's really important to bring up, right? Is not everything is going to be X, Y, Z following the same exact path or the same exact trajectory, right? Like, twin flames are gonna together and individually come up against different conflicts in their relationship. And some of those things might be family conflicts, especially if you have particularly a family that doesn't support you generally. I can definitely imagine a dynamic where they would be, families that are a little bit more, I don't want to use the word negative, but, something like that. Families that
mainstream,
are a little bit more negative to begin with might not, might be afraid of you bringing out your full light, so then if you're connecting with your twin flame, that might be one of those things where, okay, they see this joy that it brings you, or they see this power within you, and they become afraid, and then, they feel like they can't support the relationship. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer out there and say my personal experience is that my family actually didn't fully support my karmic relationship. So if you're in a relationship or you're, talking to somebody and your family doesn't support it, I would pay really close attention to whether it's a karmic relationship or a twin flame, because oftentimes people get these two relationships like confused regardless, just because they tend to be very intense connections. They tend to be big emotional ups and downs. But yeah, so that's what I would really look at. Do you want to talk a little bit about how your parents felt about your previous partner?
I mean, my previous partner, our parents, they obviously never butted into it. Wasn't necessarily my favorite partner that I've been with my parents. I don't want to say that they didn't like her, because that's not true. They just might have thought that maybe we weren't suited for each other. But it's one of those different things. I mean, at least like with my family, with regards to my previous relationships, whether they've agreed with my partner or like my partner or agreed with my choices, they've never butted in. They've always allowed me to make the choice for myself and allow me to almost make my mistakes and, find my own lessons in life in order to move forward. Which I really appreciated. It helped me really grow as a person. It helped me grow to see what I actually wanted in life, like you, or what I didn't want to like in previous relationships. So yeah, it's a very heavy question.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I think, you know, like we said in the beginning, it doesn't necessarily have to be one way or the other. But the point is to know yourself well enough, you know, to ask yourself, where are their intentions maybe coming from, right? So for me, for my karmic partner, I could tell my mom didn't really like him from the beginning. For one, there was a really big age gap, which I think was a little bit concerning to my parents. Two, this person just was a little bit, you know, kind of full of themselves and a little bit narcissistic to begin with. And I think my parents saw that right away. Now, my dad said something really funny, which was, I was engaged once before I met my karmic partner, and my mom was really upset that I had gotten engaged with my karmic partner. And my mom was really upset about how we wanted to do the wedding and like all of this stuff. It was a big thing in our family. And so I almost stopped talking to my mom over this. And my dad's perspective was, you know, she left not the right one before. I know she'll drop this one if it's not right either. So go dads. And that's exactly what happened. So my family also was very much like your family, where, you know, like my mom especially, I knew she wasn't happy with the match, but I don't think she would have ever come right out and said, you shouldn't marry this person, or I don't, you know, I disapprove or anything like that. Like I could feel how unhappy she was about it. But they also were like your parents, where they just kind of let me make my mistakes. And then when I called them in the middle of a crazy road trip and said, I'm leaving this partner and I met somebody else, they were kind of like, okay, wow, this sounds like something different. They were like, I wish I could I'm sure I could go back in WhatsApp, because I sent them like a 30-minute long voice note about when I met you and like everything that transpired. And it was really quite emotional. And I definitely had, more so my friends, I would say, than anything else, was skeptical of the relationship. But again, it wasn't really because they, you know, didn't support me. It was just because they didn't really understand. Or I had a lot of friends that I was talking to on like a spiritual level at that time. And they were kind of like, oh, well, you know, they got some downloads on the lessons that he and I would be going through. And so I felt like they came through a rather like negative lens almost. You guys also have to understand, if somebody is not supporting or judging your relationship, that has nothing to do with you, essentially. It has to do with them and what they believe is possible. So a lot of times if somebody sees that you're truly happy and you're truly fulfilled and you're truly meant for this person, they might not support it because they don't believe that that level of love is capable for themselves, right? So if people don't believe that they are able to find their own true love, you have to look at the state of their own relationship, right? If your parents are happily married and they are doing an amazing job in relationships and they're totally fulfilled in their life, and they come to you and they say, hey, look, I'm really not supportive of this relationship that you're in, then take that seriously, right? Because there might be something there that you're not seeing. But if your parents are, you know, not to say it's negative if they're divorced, but if your parents are divorced, or they're in a really unhappy marriage, or, you know, they've been alone for forever, and then they're, you know, dismissing your relationship, there might be a reason why that's not because of you. It might be something deeper within them. And that might be something you're meant to transcend for your family line. Like, who knows? We don't want to give like advice like, you know, do this, don't do this, because for everybody it's completely different. And this was just our experience, you know, like your mom, before we were even together,
before you even met, or before you even came back here.
Before I even met her, before we were even together, like anything, she sent me like a Merry Christmas message and like was texting me and like things like that. And that was like, we had just met. I wasn't yet out of my karmic relationship yet, and she was already like, Merry Christmas, like blah blah blah, you know, like that kind of stuff. So she
bugged me to get your number so she could send you a message saying, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, obviously when I first challenged them, I made you sound like this golden girl, which you are. And yeah, I mean, they were very supportive of me, at least in that moment. They the fact that they saw that I found somebody that brought something to me that I hadn't had in quite a while, really made them be like, go for it. Like, you have to like do what you can for this point, obviously within your own realm of where you feel you need to go with it. So I think it's very difficult. I mean, obviously, like you were saying earlier as well, like we're not here to tell you guys how to look at your relationships and what to do. We simply share our experiences and things that we've been through, the lessons that we have learned, and the things that we've had to overcome in order to get to a better place. And saying, like, by us sharing these things, hopefully somewhere in all of this, you might find something that might help you. I mean, that's obviously, we hope that what we talk about helps a lot of you guys to, you know, get to the next stage and find that person who you want to spend the rest of your life with and build a family with and have a home with and, you know, progress through life with. But at no point I think either one of us would ever want to tell someone like, this is what you have to do, there's no other way, because that's not true. There's many different ways to skin a cat, which is really, it's a terrible saying, but it makes so much sense.
I was gonna say all roads lead to Rome, so you're kind of you know, like every different road is gonna get you to that destination, if it's your destination, right? Like, what's meant for you is not going to pass you by, and some people will have to come over, you know, families not being supportive. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope this video helped. If you have any other questions that we didn't cover today, please put them in the comments, and check out any of our links if you're looking for more resources. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much. Bye.